Good morning, viewers. You are watching us live from our main studios here at Sukuta, and this is your Jungle Morning Show with me, Pa Usman Fall. And today's topic is good laws that are not properly implemented, and we will be talking about some of the problems that were, as long as law is concerned in the Gambia, some of the problems that we are faced with. Today's guest is a man of wisdom, a man of timber, a man of caliber, who is a brother of mine, who is well known, a very famous guy in Banjul. He came all the way from Banjul. Well, he will shortly introduce himself. But before that, if you want to be part of the program, you know what to do. Just type Jungle Entertainment Universe and follow us on all our social media platforms. We are on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And even recently, we've also joined TikTok. You can also go on Facebook and watch us live there. Sponsors are equally invited. This is a program that is geared towards sensitizing and educating the general public. As I always say, what we do is edutainment. We entertain at the same time we educate. Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Good morning, Usman.
You are welcome to the Jungle Morning Show.
Thank you very much, and I am happy to be here.
Thank you very much.
And I am saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to those that are viewing and those that are listening. And I am happy to be here. And as far as it is something that is going to educate the masses, definitely we are always in there.
Yeah.
But first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Lyndon B. Johnson, and I am a resident of Banjul. And I was one of the former aspiring candidates for the past parliamentary elections. And I'm happy to be here. I think I'll just leave it at that now, and maybe as time goes on, we get to talk
absolutely.
about things,
Thank you very much. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, and thank you for gracing our this occasion despite your busy schedule. We really appreciate it, to be honest. I think we can now have the program in proper. When we talk about good laws, Mr. Johnson, we know that there are no bad laws anyway. But when we talk about good laws, I think the implementation plays an essential role. So what do you think is the reason why some people will say good laws and bad laws?
Thank you very much for that question. And I definitely want to start by laying a foundation that I think people will get to appreciate more. Because if you're talking about jurisprudence, where we have a lot of philosophers that, would sometimes agree at some point and disagree at some point. So just to tell the viewers that sometimes in law people don't agree on one point. Some people see it at a different point. That is why we have the courts where you go to court and you're found guilty or you're acquitted. Some people feel dissatisfied. They will go to an upper court for them to appeal and all that. So it goes on and on and on till the Supreme Court, where some people would still feel dissatisfied, of the ruling of the court or the judgment. So I would want to be very, very short and precise, and I would want to say things that maybe some people, if they hear me talking, they would just say, yes, he has at least giving to a point, or what he said is reasonable. When you looked at laws, which I think it's very, very fundamental in any civilized society, because if you look at any civilized or democratic society, it's governed by laws, right? And we have a process of passing those laws into law, which means they have to go through the National Assembly, where they will look at them, have their debates from stages and all that, until the laws are ratified, then they are ascended by the President, then we call them laws. But looking at that, it's a lengthy process, in which, I think maybe time will permit us to go through all the processes and all that. But what I want to say when it comes to good laws, at my own perspective, I think all laws are good. It depends on the implementation. Right, and what would Parliament or what were the National Assembly thinking about when they were trying to put in those laws in place? So it depends on how people are going to appreciate them. For me, I would say all the laws that are in all law books or in the acts and all that, they are definitely good laws. But what would be the outcome of those laws if they're implemented? It's where the question lies. That's where people would say they are good laws, and that's where people would say they are bad laws. So I think I would take that point, that all laws are good as long as they've gone through the due process of being passed into law. Definitely they are good laws. It depends on what purpose they are there to serve. Which I think the National Assembly members, in all the laws that they pass, they have a rationale. Rationale, it's why they are trying to pass in those laws, which I think the courts too would interpret. So definitely it wouldn't favor everyone, as in everybody would agree to them also, but definitely would have differences at some point.
Absolutely.
Where people would say, yes, law B, it's not a good law, and some people say, yes, it's definitely a good law. At the end of the day, it takes two bango to tango. You understand? And I definitely believe that some people would, appreciate it and some would not. But at the end of the day, I would say they are good laws, yes. passed. Any law that has been passed, that has gone through the due process, it has a purpose for which it should serve.
Absolutely.
So definitely, yes,
absolutely.
all laws are good from our perspective.
That is really immaculate coming from you. I believe we've definitely learned a lot when it comes to good laws and bad laws. And it is clear that all laws are good because you being a law personnel, definitely this coming from you means a lot. And another important factor, Mr. Johnson, is I think people don't understand, especially Gambia in particular, don't understand some of the procedures we need to go through in order to make sure that laws are implemented. What are these procedures?
Right. I think I will concur with you with that regarding procedures, because if you look at the law, it's made of processes. You understand what I mean? And first of all, if you want to initiate a civil matter, which is between two individuals, what you need to do is to go to the court, at the registrar's office, where you will go and summon anybody, and claim for whatsoever that you want to claim from him. Then the process servers will serve the defendant in that matter. Then the defendant will be given a date to appear before the court. But if you looked at it from a criminal perspective, where the state has the authority, to charge anyone and take them before any court and charge them with criminal offences, normally it is done by, first of all, lodging a complaint at the police station, alleging that someone X, Y, and Z has committed an offence and all that. Then the police would step in, arrest that individual, take him to the police and charge him accordingly, and bring him before the court of law. So those are the two processes that you can initiate proceedings in Gambia.
So, and there is another important thing based on what you have said. Sometimes we've seen criminals that their families don't even have the financial muscle to make sure that they produce them a lawyer. But we are meant to understand that the state will provide a lawyer for you. But what we want to understand is that lawyer that is being provided by the state, does it take the case too serious? Or lawyers do take cases serious if they are directly being paid by the victim or the victim's family? Or when a state assigns you to take care of a particular case, which one is more serious?
Well, thank you very much, and definitely I will be very, very happy to kind of dilate on that, which I think most people don't even know that it exists in the first place, because what you're talking about is National Council for Legal Aid, which is a branch that is created by the government, stepping in helping those that are not able to be able to afford the service of a lawyer, which I think is very, very important. It is existing, but many people don't know.
Absolutely.
But what happens is, if somebody commits an offense, right, which is not a capital offense, offenses are also divided into categories. We have capital offenses, misdemeanors, and all that. But if a person commits an offense for which the penalty is not more than life, or it's not life, you are not entitled to have a counsel from the legal aid.
Absolutely.
As it used to be. I'm not sure whether the act has changed or all that. But if you commit theft, for instance, which carries a penalty of 3 years, 4 years or so, you are not entitled to have counsel from the legal aid. Because it hasn't reached the threshold for which you can be given a lawyer by the state. For you to be entitled to have a lawyer from legal aid, you have to commit a capital offense. That is, it has to be more than treason, rape, arson, and all that, which carries the penalty of death or life in prison. Then you will be entitled. When it comes to legal aid, some lawyers, they normally do it on pro bono. They will take cases where they wouldn't ask for anything, and they will be serious, and they will take that case very, very serious, and they will do it with diligence. When it comes to payment, people are offering lawyers, people are hiring lawyers, where they can't afford to pay the lawyer, but they have payment plans as to how they will be able to pay, if it's going to be in bits and pieces and all that. People have seen that here. So when it comes to legal aid, and when it comes to the government hiring a lawyer for you, that shows how independent, that shows how democratic the state is. Because the state could have said, no, we wouldn't create any institution that is going to defend this person. You understand? But that has been done to show that people are entitled, because it's even constitutional provision that everybody should be entitled to a lawyer of his or her own choice. You understand what I mean? So therefore, if you can't be able to afford to have that lawyer, then the state should provide. For it's a capital offense. And I think it is in line with democracy and good governance, because not everybody can afford to hire the services of a lawyer. And when they take your cases on legal basis ground, lawyers normally they do their utmost best. Right, because remember they are lawyers already qualified to handle any matter
Yeah.
for any court. So if it falls under the legal aid, then it means legal aid are going to pay them.
Yeah.
You understand? And definitely they will respect the case, they will treat it with utmost care and diligence, and definitely yes, leave the balance to the court. Because remember, the court has to come up with a judgment, which is not the fault of the lawyer, whether the courts come in red or black. That's why I think that people has to also be very, very cognizant of that fact. But like I said, the legal aid is existing, and people definitely should, those that can't afford to have these things, they should definitely go to the legal aid. And also, most of the times you go to the court, and when capital offences are committed, you hear judges would ask the accused person, do you have a lawyer? The judges will say, do you have a lawyer? And if he says he can't afford to have a lawyer, and another says that he comes without having a lawyer, then the judge would suggest to the accused person to go to legal aid, or the judge is going to write to legal aid, for them to come and assist this guy. So I think it's in line with good governance and democracy.
Absolutely. That was really good. I knew for a fact that if I have you here, you will definitely do justice to all of my questions, and I am definitely saying that. Another important thing that have been, something that is a major issue as long as court procedures are concerned. We've seen sometimes when a court proceeding is going on, people from different places come, as long as the victim or the accused person, as lawyers will usually say, there are some of their family members who will come. But those family members, not all of them understand what we call contempt of court. Sometimes you will see someone who will come and sit anyhow in the court. So I would want you to emphasize on that. And what are the judicial system doing to make sure that they sensitize people to an extent that they will understand some of these things that are required when you are in a court of law?
Thank you very much, and I would be happy to talk about this scenario that happened in Brikama way a long time ago. I think, like you said, some people are not au fait with court proceedings, what happens in court, what don't happen, because some people don't even go to court because they don't have businesses. They only go to court when they have, when they are alleged or they have maybe a matter to settle in court. It is very, very important. It is normally said that if you go to Rome, you do as Romans do.
Romans do,
and I think the courts are open for the general public. You can badge into the court anytime, even without having a matter. You go and sit down and listen to the proceedings and all that. But the courts are also governed by rules. You understand what I mean? Which I think the courts would not even show a blind eye on them, because those rules have to be respected. That is, if you're coming to the court, you're not asked a question, what are you doing here, or why are you here? The doors are always open to the general public. So if you come to the court, most of the courts that you go to, you see notice placed everywhere around the court that you should switch your phone off before you enter the court, or you should be silenced in court. Which I think those things are things that people should be very, very careful of. The courts are not here to scare people away, or to take people to prison. Just that, people are getting redress. They are getting things that they thought they would never have in their lives from the court. So I think the court is open for the public. And if you're coming to the court, it's not much that is required of you. Put your phone on silence, or put your phone off. And when you are in the court premises, if you are not asked to speak, don't speak. You understand? Because you can't have three people talking at the same time. Lawyers don't see that as a good sign, because it's a sign of disrespect. You understand? And also, most of the judges have witnessed them over and over. Most of the judges or magistrates, before they sit down, they would say it out loud in court. If you have your phone, switch it off. Or all those things are done to draw the attention of those that are coming to court. That you cannot have three people speaking at the same time.
Absolutely.
I remember a time in Brikama at the magistrate's court. Magistrate is no more in the Gambia now. He made that announcement before he sat, that you should switch off your phones, and somebody's phone rang just 2 minutes after that. And he asked him, tell me why I shouldn't take you to mine too. You understand what I mean? And he created a situation where people, that don't know the law, they started, they got feared, because they thought maybe it's not good to be at courts and all that. But at the end of the day, instructions, you have to follow instructions. Like I come to your house and you tell me don't come with your shoes at my dining room. No, at your sitting room. I come with my shoes. You will definitely not like that.
Absolutely.
So I think courts are governed by rules. If you follow the rules, you can go to court every day and you wouldn't have a problem. And you will always be welcome to the court.
That is really interesting. I believe people will definitely learn a lot from that. And you've mentioned something really, really important, which is courts are made for the general public. It is your right to go there and witness, even if you have no business with that particular proceedings. But you need to be there to make sure that you learn a lot. So just going there to just follow the rules. Like I said, if you go to Rome, you do as the Romans do, which is really, really important. And secondly, also, there have been a lot of debate when it comes to, public hearings and private hearings. We've seen certain cases that are not, but are not heard in public. For example, I witnessed a scenario whereby a husband and a wife had a problem. So the wife said, she wants a divorce. The husband said no. So the wife went and informed the family that she has already filed for a divorce and she is divorced. And that was not the case. The husband refused to divorce the lady. And after some time, the lady got married to another man. So the first husband sued them to court. Cases like this, I was amazed when I heard that it should not be treated in public. These are not public trials. So I want you to also emphasize on this, and what are some other cases that should not be tried in public?
Yes, thank you very much. I think people should. I'm really enjoying your show. I think people should kind of be sensitized regarding cases that can be heard publicly and cases that can be heard in camera. Lawyers call it in camera. The case that you talked about, I wouldn't want to delve into that much because most times if cases are before any court, we don't talk about them, we leave it to the court to decide. And after that, you have what to say. But I think I'll just give you a few examples of scenarios where people, the public wouldn't be allowed, to witness some trials and all that. Like for instance, if in a rape case, where the victim, it's a minor. You understand? A minor that has a long way to go in her future, right? Who might be a president, vice president, minister, or anything, doctor or teacher and all that. Sometimes the courts would hide the identity of that person. Wow. Right? Because we wouldn't want her to be stigmatized. Like walking in the street and everybody would say killing rape one, killing rape. You understand what I mean? So the state, in trying to implement the laws, it will also try to protect the interest of the victim. That is not getting her to be stigmatized out there. That is why if you looked at most of the newspapers, you would see, in those instances, you would see the name of the victim would not be included.
Exactly.
Included there because we wouldn't want everybody to know it is this person that was involved in that scenario. So that too has to be differentiated because that's the reality. You can have cases that the general public are allowed to witness, and there are some cases that you're not allowed to witness. And based on reasons, tangible reasons, then it's up to the general public. They can go out there and say, well, you see, we want to witness. Let them go back to the National Assembly. There are laws that have been passed, that exclude them from seeing those trials and all that. But again, you talked about divorce proceedings, and I think it's very, very sensitive when it comes to that because we all aiming, or we're all aspiring to be fathers, mothers, and uncles, and all that. So, and definitely there are some things that happen within the marriage. If they're exposed in the public, people tend to see the good side and the bad side of it, and that can also affect some people in one way or the other. So I think in those kind of instances, the general public can be excluded. But that doesn't necessarily mean that justice will not be done. Because if those things are done, it is done for a reason. And if the court goes in camera to decide some matters, then the public wouldn't know what the proceedings are. But definitely the judgment would be they would hear of the judgment that this is what the court has decided. But excuse me, how the court went to that decision, then that is another ball game, which I think the general public wouldn't know the proceedings. And I think it's very, very fair. You understand? Because the law, like I said, it's not only here to address, but it's also here to protect the interests of the citizens and all that. So if you wait from those two lines, you will realize that it is definitely good and it's in line with good government.
Absolutely, that is really important. And another thing, we know Constitution being the whole body of all the fundamental laws in a country. We know of constitutionalism being the letter power or rules of the Constitution. We also know rule of law, being the absolute supremacy of the law. But we've seen, it's not just recently, but forever, the most secret book in this country is the Constitution. And I think it should be public. People should have access to the Constitution, not just in the Internet, because Gambia, naturally, we are not a digitalized country. So I think there should be many constitution books that will be even given to people for free. Like they always say in the Gambia here, you always know the law when you commit an offense. You see, so you lawyers, what do you think that can be done in order to make sure that you facilitate everybody, majority of the people having knowledge to what the law says in the
Thank you very much. Like you said, just to emphasize, the Constitution is normally called as the grown law, meaning it's the biggest law of the land. Which I think any other law that is in confirmation will be consistent with the provision of the Constitution. That law will be declared null and void. To the extent of its inconsistency. When it comes to the Constitution, like you said, it's not a book that is hidden. It's not a magic book. It's not a book that people hide from the general public. That's not the thing. I just think maybe Gambians are getting to realize. It's now that most Gambians are getting to be too aware or very, very conscious of certain things in their country. The Constitution, it's not a book that is difficult to get. If you go to the GPPC, National Printing and Publishing Corporation, now it's not even more than 400. Because the last time I got mine, I could remember it's just $300. So you could even walk there right now and get a copy of the Constitution. And it's not like when you go to buy the Constitution, the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation, they wouldn't ask you, are you a lawyer? They wouldn't ask you that. I want the Constitution, just like you walk in a bookshop and say you want a social studies book, verbal or quantitative. You will be given those books. So it is not hidden from the public. You understand? And it's right that some people would say they would only have access to the Constitution when they have a problem. You understand? Which I think is not right. People should definitely know their rights. Which I think it's another ball game. That maybe if time permits or another time, I would definitely want to talk on that because I think there are so many things that are lacking. That if people get to realize, then we would have a very, very nice and civilized society because Gambia is governed by rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
It's not all, even those that are enforcing the law shouldn't pass those boundaries because we are all under. That law is supreme than all of us.
Absolutely.
So if you are in custody of the law, you have to do it with diligence, care. You understand, not to exceed the powers that have been accorded to you. So I think it's another ball game, which I think people will definitely learn a lot if the opportunity is granted. To sit down there and talk about those things. But like I said, the Constitution, right now you can have copies. Just go to the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation.
Right. Awesome. And also, Mr. Johnson, indeed the program is really interesting, and I myself I am learning a lot. And I believe viewers are also learning a lot as well. But talking about, the law being superior over everybody, we are taught in school that there are certain things that give serious limitation to the rule of law. For example, someone's position, like the head of state. For example, insanity. If a madman is to stab you and then you end up dying, God forbid, it's like it's free. As long as he or she can provide a paper that shows that he or she is mentally ill. And age as well, if you are below 18, is another thing. And there are more and more things that give serious limitations to the rule of law. So we want you to at least give us some tips in that so the general public will understand.
Anytime you speak to somebody that don't understand the law much, they will tell you things that will make you laugh. Like I said, the president, remember, he's an individual and he's a citizen of the Gambia, and we entrust him without votes for him to sit in that office. So definitely he's not supreme to the law. You understand? He has what we call executive powers. He has what we call executive powers. You understand? That he has, that he could use to do certain things. But remember, the president has some immunities that precludes him from going to court within the term of his office. That has to be very clear. If the president does anything that is not in line with the law, he could be taken to court after his tenure in office. We could say in America it's happening. Donald Trump. Court. You understand? But within his term in the presidency, you can't do that. So that alone shows that the president is not supreme to the law. That is why he is guided by the law. And he could use the law because he has that executive powers that he could use, but it has to be limited by the law. Right? You come down to children that are below the age of 18, like you mentioned. But we have Mile 7. Yes, with this at Joshua. The children that commit offences that are not adult enough to go to Mile 2, they go to Mile 7. And we call that child a rehabilitation center. And based on what the judgment reads about an individual that is there, the officers of that institution act according to that. If the judgment states that after 10 years, the child is mature enough, he should be released, then definitely they will do that. But that has to be in line with the law. And you talk about an insane person that commits an offence, killing an individual and all that. You see the insane person in the street. Remember, what we are talking about is not magic science. It's about rules. It's about laws, right? And I think the law should be implemented to the letter. You understand? And if you commit an offence in that kind of a situation where you claim to be mad, remember, I wouldn't want to delve into that, but I'll give you a tip. In criminal cases, the prosecution bears the burden of proving the guilt of the accused person beyond all reasonable doubts. Right? But if you claim that you're insane before the courts, the burden shifts from prosecution to the accused person. So you're going to need evidence to tell us how were you insane and what do you have to show. Yeah, but it's a very downfall tax, because sometimes you have to do a lot of work.
Awesome.
To convince the court that you are definitely insane before committing the offense. And if that happens, we go by what the law says.
Wow.
You understand? And if it's for a period of 2 months, you are there for a period of 2 months. Who says it? It's the law. Absolutely. It's not the judge, not me, not the prosecutor. It's the law who says it should be there for 2 years. So if that happens, then it means it's in line with the law and in line with good governance. So that has to be very, very clear. That is how it is, and that is how it should be done. Anything other than that, then it makes it illegal. You talked about somebody off the idea. I've mentioned that. So see, this three, it has to be in accordance to the law. You understand? The president is in custody of the land, and he is the president of the republic, and he has the executive powers, which he could use, judiciously. You understand what I mean? Anything that is done that people think he has offended the law or he has committed offenses, he can't be charged within the term of his office. That has to be very clear. You can't say anything about that. That president has committed, he has slapped me, he has this, so I'll take him to court. You can't, because he has presidential immunity from that. So exactly, that is how it goes. So after that, we will see if at all there are any offenses that are committed. And after he's still in office, he's just a citizen like you and myself. So
wonderful.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Viewers, as you can see, this is your program, The Jungle Morning, with me, Pa Ousman Fall, and you see Mr. Johnson is doing justice to all our, questions, and I believe we are able to learn a lot. I myself, I am learning a lot, and I believe you are learning too. As I always say, what we do is edutainment. We entertain at the same time we educate. And today, to be honest, we are being educated by someone who is a specialist when it comes to law, and who is doing very, very well. Those who are watching can definitely, attest to this. And if you want to be part of the program as well, don't forget, just type Jungle Entertainment Universe and follow us on all the social media platforms. And don't forget, this is the radio podcast with me, Pa Ousman Fall, and this is your Jungle Morning, as we usually do it from Mondays to Friday. And this program today is good laws that are not properly implemented, as long as the Gambia is concerned. Another interesting problems. But anyway, I think we should also now speak in Wolof, the local language, so those also who are having problems in understanding English that much can also participate and understand what we are talking about. Mbokk yi di leen nuyu, di leen ziar, di leen jox seen wàccuwaay, di leen xamal ne tey moom seen Jungle Morning Show waxtaan bu ñu leen isil mooy wàllum luwaa yi nga xam ne wàllum luwaa yi nga xam ne comme ñu ngi ko tëral si réewi Gambia, waaye nit ñi duñ ko dee toppa. te loolu lañ nekk di waxtaanee te gis nañ ne suñ naatango bi nga xam ne muy suñ boss mi nga xam ne xarañ na torop si wàllum loi gis nañ fi li mu fi jot a expliquer li nga xam ne man suma bopp jàng naa te yéen tamit xam naa ne jàng ngeen si bu baax a baax léegi duñ def dara lu dul rek question yi nga xam ne yooyu des ñu try pour def ko si olof pour ñeneen tamit mun a understand, because bu ko nañ comme ñuy seetaan ak ñuy déglu yëpp am wala si programme bi. Mr Johnson, beneen question bu si toppa mooy comme dañ bëgg a xam fan la problème bi nekk when it comes to law implementation. Comme ñu mentionné loi bi comme nit ñi topp nañ ko, problème bi is it with the executives, problème bi is it with the judiciary, the law interpreters, or is it with the parliamentarians yi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo ko defar nuñ ko dee defaree duñ ko dee boole ak mécanismes yi nga xam ne dina mën a compel nit ñi pour ñu toppa ko whether we like it or not, wala comme nit ñi seen boppa ñoo war a xam ne comme réew mu nekk dafa am lu ko toppa daal lu ko govern nit ñi fa xam ne comme Gambia suñu Gambia ñun ñëpp ñu toppa ko, because réew loi moo ko doxal. So réew amul loi moom du doxal, amul sax man gisuma ko fenn. So ñu bëgg comme nga yaatalal ñu loolu ñu xam daal problème bi yow fan nga feel ne foofu la problème bi nekk.
Pause waa jërëjëf maa ngi nuyuwaat suñu seetaankat yi ak déglukat yi leen wax ne asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatullah di leen wax ne comme ni ko Ousmane waxee la rek waaye Ousmane just pour gaaw rek ma dem si sa laajte boobu noonu am na solo trop because loo wax dafa am solo mooy ne réew loi a koy yóbbu te da nga gis na loi bi nag dafa jël loi boobu noonu moo xam ne moom mooy yóbbu réew mi dafa jël boppam mu xaajale boppam si ñetti banxaas yu am solo muy executive bi muy legislation bi muy judiciaire bi si sa wax bu passé nii léegi mun naa si teg xa ñetti banxaas yooyu noonu ne wax na ko si nga wax mu nekk loo xam ne lu am solo la réew bu nekk si ñetti banxaas yooyu lay dox lay sukkandeko parce que soo seetee executive bi mbootaay boo xam ne président baa ko jiitee nga ñëw si judiciaire bi nekk mbootaay boo xam ne chief justice bi baa ko jiitee nga ñëwaat si national assembly bi muy parlement bi nga ñëwaat mu amaat koo xam ne mooy speaker bi mu jiite fa mu nekk ñetti banxaas yoo xam ne nekkuñ benn waaye dañ dee mun a jokkalante seetlante ndax kii mu ngay def loo xam ne loolu war nakale mu ngay def loo xam ne mu ko war waaye nag képp banxaas si boobu banxaas dafa am fonction boo xam ne dafa utee ak kale lu mu war a def soo seetee président tey dafa am doole executive powers dafa angale di waxee mooy doole pour ne lii mooy xew lale mooy xew o mu jël waaye ne dañ koy doxalee ni o dañ koy teg si koo kii o dañ koy teg si koo kii mën na lu nga ñëw si judiciaire bi moo xam ne moom moo nekk wàllu foo xam ne foofu la ñuy doxalee luwaay court si ñoom it am nañ doole pour joxe judgment rulings ne lii moo war a xew lale moo war a xew waaye enforcement bi ñoom duñ ko enforce dañ am special nit ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo war a def loolu dox comme tey for instance soo demee si high court bi dafa am division boo xam ne self division lañ ko dee waaye moo xam ne any judgment boo xam ne pare nañ si ñu war ko enforce su dee criminal la xamal ne su ñoo dogal aate boobu si court bi police yaa ngi taxaw dañ laa yóbbu parce que boobu amul xaar dem suba ñëw waaye su dee civil la dañ loolu dañ koy pousse si self division da ngay gis ne self division bi am nañ mbootaay boo xam ne ñoom it ñoom dañ seel wàllu enforce pour def judgment loo xam ne loolu la court bi dina mu taxaw moo siy dox jël ay jéego yoo xam ne ànd na ak loi doxal loolu noonu
absolutely
te tamit loolu soo gisee ñu koy def sax dafa fekk ne maybe try nañ option bu nekk pour make sure ne doxal nañ ko si yar ak teg waaye su fekkee ne dem nañ ba gis ne ku ñu ko doxalal dee oo ku ñu bugg a doxal loi bu si ko am nekkul nit koo xam ne am na yar ak tegi dañ ñoom am nañ loi am nañ doole waa meelal ko pour ñu doxalee ko si anam boo xam ne day mel ni bàyyi foofu si kanam nii te loolu suñ ko doxalee si noonu du doxal boo xam ne chef division si boppam si coobare boppam moo ko doxal déedéet waaye dafa doxal loo xam ne loolu la loi bi sant so at the end of the day kooku noonu suba doo mën a taxaw ne waa chef bi de am na temps mu ma forcé woon doxal lii suba koo te fekka dafa ko si coobare boppam déedéet chef bi am na loo xam ne mu ko aar mooy ne loi baa ma ne woon ma doxal lii te loolu su ko defee loolu is justifiable doo si mën a wax dara nga ñëwaat si mbootaay boo xam ne moom moo gën a am solo moo xam ne su dee xaw ma sa seetlu naka la mel am nga time dinaa bëgg ñu toog fi ñu waxtaanee organic government boobu noonu benn boobu noonu rek si boppam parce que dafa am solo trop te foog nga Gambien si am na lu bari loo xam ne war nañ koo xam si mbootaay boobu noonu ñu ooyee National Assembly ndax nit ñi dañ des a xam mooy fonction yi National Assembly ñii dañ des a xam ndax National Assembly naka lay doxee ñii dañ des a xam lan mooy seen doole ban doole leen amul ak lan lañ mën a def ak lu ñu mën a def foog naa leen ko dee jaxase moo tax léegi wala wax su jógee rek da ngaa dégg ku nekk a jóg di wax boo xam ne même yow tëraloo ko fenn waaye dama foog ne tamit National Assembly members yi war nañoo jóg di defend anything loo xam ne ñu wax nañ ko loo xam ne àndut ak ñoom seen sarta àndut ak ñoom loo xam ne noonu la ñu war a doxalee gaa gi na ñu leeral askan bi su ko defee askan bi xam ne nii la fa mbir bi nekkee duñ bugg di am ay jaxasoo ak yooyu waaye just pour emangum foofu noonu rek moo wax leen la ñoom seen mbootaay bi lan la leen loi sas mooy ñoom defakati loi leen te loi soo koy defar duñ jóg rek ne Ousmane su génnee keram suba de loi bi aaye na ko déedéet loi bi dafa am si yoon muy jaar dafa am stages yoo xam ne su demee ba jaar stages yooyu dafa nit nag pour am signature of the president pour loi yooyu mun a nekk loi te loi boobu balaa ñu ko doxal balaa ñu ko def mu nekk loi dañ koy seegaan ko jaar si lu bari koy wax luñ si wàññi te tamit seen xel yi ñoom ñoo xam ne ñooy defar loi bi dañ dee am lu tax gars yi di isi façon loi boobu noonu loolu la tubaab yi dafay di rationale behind the promulgation of that law mooy lan la si seen xalaat naka la gars yi bëggee loi boobu doxal naka la gars yi bëggee loi boobu saafara loo xam ne mooy sonal askan ma foog ne lu am solo la loo xam ne National Assembly members yi ndax xam nañ ko ndax xamuñ ko boo xara si seen taxawaay pour defar loi yoo xam ne day am lu moo àndal day am lu mooy firnde soo nga gis ne ñoom seen doole lu leen loi dooleel mooy ñu toog defar loi yoo xam ne mooy yóbbu askan si kanam ko yóbbu si kanam te tamit bokk na si loo xam ne ñoom loolu lañ mën a def mooy pour make sure ñu seet ñu serve as beneen boot boo xam ne moo nekk si biir government waaye day yóbbu si biir government bi seen ndax gaa ñu doxalee si anam boo xam ne noonu la ko luwaa bi ma foog ne loolu dafa am solo trop waaye su fekkee ne yaa dinañu famit su ma ñu watee naa bëgg ñu dugg si loolu toj yax yi ba nga xam ne Gambien boo xam ne dama school sax jarul pour nga dem ne lan mooy National Assembly incha allah di nga si jàngee lu bari di nga si xam loo xam ne yow loolu nga si war a xam da nga xam lu gars yi doxalee ak da nga xam loo xam ne loolu nga war a xam as a citizen ma foog ne loolu am solo la waaye du ma bëgg a dugg si loolu parce que topic bu mag su ma si duggee
absolutely no loolu am na solo trop Mr Johnson te I promise you we will definitely find a day boo xam ne di nga ñëwaat dellu because yow sa ñëw fii sax dina bari because am na yu bari yoo ñu war a laalaal yoo ñu war a farafancal because lii dañ ko soxla Gambia askan bi dañ ko soxla pour mun a xam suñu loi bi nu mu tëddee suñu parliamentarian si lan mooy House of the Parliament lan mooy legislature lan mooy power I mean executives ñu xam this 3 branch of government yëpp lu moo tekki so fu naa loolu dina nekk loo xam ne dina am solo trop te programme tey bi rek nit ñu bëri jàng nañ ci te xam naa ne if we give you time as well on our subsequent programmes definitely comme xam nañ ne dinañ si jàngal lu bëri comme yéen borom xam-xam yi comme lii ngeen ñu oo ñun société bi foog loo leen jàngal lu nekk si yéen foog ngeen génne ko pour ñun ñu mun koo xam ñun tamit ñu mun ko jëfu moo gën xam ko rek toog benn place waaw because nit ku jàng tamit da nga amel public bi aha so foog nga génne tamit li nga xam ne loolu la yàlla mais nga xam nga séddoo ko nit ñi li nga xam ne bu tamit apprécier nañ ko trop another thing I mean before ñuy conclude because time nekkatu suñu seet bu gën a comme ni nga leeralal ñu tamit yow as a young lawyer I mean if you have anything to change so amee anything li nga xam ne bëgg nga ko wécci si wàllum judiciaire système yi Gambia bi lan la moo doon loo feel ne yow daal loolu whether it should be intensified wala it should be stopped wala it should be eradicated wala loo fa ne daal yokku la si wàllum I mean luwaay Gambia lan la moo doon.
ok man suma wax nag du si bëgg a defee moom sori bi waaye comme noo ko waxee la rek it's limited to man lan laa xalaat which I think I'm entitled to my opinion man su doon man naa doon am lu maa yokk si judiciaire bi mooy ne loo xam ne mu ngi fa already sax waaye naa bëgg a gars yi gën si góorgóorlu because cases yoo xam ne ñu ngi fa yaaga yoo xam ne nekkul di proceed su dee criminal case la maybe kooku mu ngi teel a may tout understand xamul nan mooy féetaam xamul ndax after 10 years dan maa bàyyi xamul ndax after 10 years damaa continuer so loolu daf day concern trop si koo xam ne moo fa tëdda ak si koo xam ne moo ko represent because for instance soo amee mata boo xam ne mu ngay dem kooku di dem court 5 years or 2 years or 3 years or 10 months or 1 year sax dafa métti because dañ dee wax ne justice denied is justice delayed
is justice denied
justice rush is justice denied so dinaa bëgg ñu gën a góorgóorlu si loolu ndax cases yi buñ di yaaga si court
bi trop
because tey gis naa leen loo xam ne dama si kontaan trop si suñ judiciaire bi te foog naa loolu rek a nekk di wane ne judiciaire of the Gambia it's independent mooy ne léegi gis naa fi ñoo xam ne si kayit yi sax dama ko jàng nga gis ñoo xam ne loi bi daf la naa téye government daf la naa téye si néegi kaso yi bañ jaaga foofu noonu ñu dem court ñu bàyyi leen ñooñu tam lañ dee mun a jël legal action against the government pour lu leen jaaxal foofu noonu yëpp te léegi nga gis ñu compensé leen voilà so daanaka loolu rek a ngay wane ne good governance te organe si government bi yëpp a ngay dox independent waaye man loolu moom suma concern la pour ne cases yoo xam ne jaaga nañ fa lool ñu géem a buñ fast track buñ slow waaye na nekk di dox rek because some people seen life yëpp ba nga ko di hang si benn place tu xam naka la kii maybe kii su nekkee businessman la ou maybe kii su nekkee borom nomba tànka la daf daan tukki di dem fu nekk daf daan dem fu nekk léegi nangu neen kayit tukkee mi du mën a tukki fenn maybe public bi ñu ngeen wax kii de moom foog nii lañ ko gisee woon waaye léegi kii nii la mel su ko defee public bi ñëpp explode la ñëpp isolate la you understand what I mean so sometimes da ngaa gis daf day métti trop su yàggee because su dee xew nit ñi luñ gis la ne góom so at the end of the day tamit su dee loolu dem na bi xew ñu téye ko mu xam ne nomba tànka la tëj ko jël ne kii de dafa baaxoon waaye nii la mel ni la so at the end of the day kooku lu waa bi ñoo gis ne luñ ko tuumaal sa amul lan la lu waa bi war a def dafa war a génnaat dem ñu social media yi ne waaw diw sangam de nii ak nii ndax su ko defee ñoo xam ne kooku ñoom la daan jëflanteel ñoo xam ne ñoo ko jàppoon teg ko fu kawe ndax bi mun koo gisee ku kawe parce que yow pour ngaa yaaxa réputation am carrière yëpp si loolu so man loolu noonu rek laa gën a concern about waaye lu si des yëpp ñu ngi try because soo demee judiciaire bi am na yoo xam ne da ngaa wax waaye nga ne bot nga demaat si executive you can say and say bot nga demaat si national assembly you can say bot but I think all we need to be doing lu war a def rek bu ñu jéem a try gën a góorgóorlu rek gën a yokk rek parce que xam naa seen rajo bi fii sax am na yenn yoo xam ne sax duy mu waaw mais léegi soo xam soo def ne loolu fu neex la nekk
ñu doon dala mën naa ko mën ta ñàkk looya yëpp nii lañ mel looya gàtt
suma diivaa ngi jeex na sax te man naa wax ñaari système
looya yëpp nii lañ mel waaye
waal ma ni laa mel
waaye anyway loolu am na solo trop Mr Johnson te amiin kontaan nañ trop waaye ba tey rek comme wax nga li nga xam ne comme amiin loolu nga gis ne comme loolu nga bëgg a comme ñu yokka wala ñu intensify as long as the judiciary is concerned ñu bëgg laa laaj tamit fu mu nekk nii si wàllum loi comme yow lan nga bëgg a advice Gambians yi understand nga as a nation si wàllum xam ne am na ñoo xam ne nag xam nañ loi bi but they prefer turning a blind eye comme def lu leen ne ak yooyu ban advice nga am because loi tamit du ne xëj na ñetti branch government ni rek moo ko doxal ñii they will come up with laws which is the parliamentarians the judiciary will interpret it understand nga waaye it is up to us the executives pour ñu toppa tamit law yooyu because suñu warugal la because it's a collective responsibility so yow lan nga amal ñi nga xam ne comme tamit ñooy réewi Gambie fi si boppam li nga xam ne advice boobu nga leen bëgg a jox si wàllum loi.
waaw jërëjëf bon suma advice yi jëm si wàllum loi bi mooy ne let us be law abiding. Because law abiding moo gën si lu nekk te benn dëkk doo dégg ñuy wax ne loo su fekkee dëkk bi amul jàmm so foog naa lu ma advice ñëpp mooy let us abide by the laws that we have waaye tamit moo wax leen ne leen am na suñu loi yoo xam ne ñu ngi leen binda si constitution depuis 1997 kenn mosul leen a test kenn loi dañ leen binda ñu nekk fa mi ba rek tëra foofu di xaar waaye nag soo seetee loi noonu la dee mel because loi the only time you have a problem with the only time nga am problème ak loi mooy soo tooñee loi bi dem na la demal si téere nangam sangam fa binda ne section lii section la lee looloo def ak dudul waaye da ngay gis ne there are so many orders yoo xam ne tamit njëriñu askan bi la waaye askan bi duñ ko dee musa test exemple si loolu mooy former case Yakumba bi gis nañ ko former National Assembly boo xam ne woon loi bi wane na ne président mun naa taxal juróomi nit waaye ndax amoon na beneen loi bu ne président mun naa génnee kenn soo si nga nekk amutoon te balaa Yakumba time bi yaa jëme daf laa dugal su la daaxee si parti bi rek nga lu sasi dafa keneen soo la se Yakuba keesam wane na ne o jàngal na Gambien su bari ni lii ndekte li njëriñ askan bi la because yow président tey su ma jëlee taalama nominé ma si National Assembly yow am loo doore pour génne ma xanaa sama temps bi jeex so la se am na yeneen yoo xam ne ñu si loi bi yoo xam ne askan bi testuñ ko waaye tamit am na yeneen yoo xam ne tamit askan bi bugguñ ko waaye loolu su fekkee ne xew na jaru ñuy génn di ñi ñu ŋaañu parce que waa dafa nekk loo xam ne dañ am ñun taana suñu biir ne dem leen toogal ñu fële defalal ñu so suñu gisee ne am na loi boo xam ne jaaroowut yoon or English anglais lu ñu dee ooyee ne laws that don't stand the test of time mooy loi yu màgget yoo xam ne depuis 1900 leen xam soo waaye tey ndax ñu ngay dundee noonu sax wala si jamono boobu lañ nekk xam comme yooyu foog naa war na nekk suñu constitution bi sax waaye am na yeneen loi yoo xam ne tamit askan bi soxluñ ko askan bi nañ dem jaaree seen nit ñoo xam ne ñooñu lañ taana si léegi loi ndax ñu seet loi nag lañ ko amende parce que même loi am na loi yoo xam ne yes ñu si constitution bi yoo xam ne dañ dee wax ne yi kenn mënul koo génnee fekk dem loo through a référendum wala dégg nga ma de am na yeneen loi yoo xam ne ñu ne National Assembly mënuñ koo change fekk dem mu tuwaar référendum te référendum mooy lan mooy nga dem ooyaat nit ñoo xam ne ñoo la fa taana ñu ne leen loi bii day dañ ko bëgg a génne wala dañ ko bëgg a defaraat lan moo si seen xalaat su ko defee nit ñi de loolu si dem sànni kat la mooy yes or no élection am naa rek wala duñ ko xam parce que gën naa am Gambia su ko defee bu mun a changer loi yooyu waaye am na yeneen loi yoo xam ne National Assembly ñeneen mun nañu ekkati ak biin parce que nga dem si house bi pour ko xam nga dem ñu dem through the process and all that dan mu nekk loi am na loi boo xam ne nag man dama dee wax ne benn Gambian si mënuñ ko understand mënuñ ko appreciate mooy section 5 of the Public Order Act understand which is a section boo xam ne dafa nekk di dooleel constitution bi mooy di right to protest understand constitutional provision la mo si loi bopp bi constitution right to protest waaye section 5 of the Public Order Act dafa ñëw pour ne yow sa right bi dee dafa mën a enjoy in absence of section 5 of the Public Order Act. Understand? So that I'm not understand. You could understand. Yeah. Waa suñu right pour protest nañ génn. Bu fekkee ne ba mu fa noonu. So section 5 of the Public Order Act moo ñëw wane o moo ñëw wax naka nga mën a enjoy that right mooy ne da ngaa dem si police nga apply for a permit. Police suñ ko granté. ñu jox la security. Understand? ñu jox la nga dem sa permit. waaye police suñ ko granté tamit il faut ñu joxe reason. So suñ ko granté tamit amul fa foofu noonu waaye lu wax bi dafa ne su fekkee da nga dem si IG bi bañ maybe he used the laws in bad faith ne ma su ma coobaree boppam rek su ma bëgg du ma leen ko jox man maa tey man maa lii loi bi mu ne mun naa dem jëlaa sa kayit si IG nga ko si Supreme Court so da ngay seen most of the time di egga si loolu waaye soo ko defee man xam naa yaakaar ne su dee Supreme Court bi xool nañ ko ñu gis ne yow loo nekk di lette is your right Supreme Court bi dañ na koo grant su ko defee Supreme Court dina ay sa ruling na toog fale Supreme Court ruling taxaw mu jox la police mu demee ko sa police so da ngaa yooyu tamit dafa nekk loo xam ne nit ñi foog ñu xam mooy dëgg lii mooy loo xam ne loolu la suñu loi bu wax waaye anything other than loolu there is not in line to the laws of the land so da nga ne soo ko defee rek police dañoo gën a téye la te su la téye ako you go to court and if you go to court you are in breach of that section 5 of the Public Order so foog naa am na ñu bëri yoo xam ne constitution bi xam naa ne I should amount time them through every section of the constitution. What time ko nit ñi gën ko xam te I think people would appreciate it more.
No, we
man I believe ne nit ñi suñu xamee seen right nit ñi xam lan lañ moom dëkk bi dina nekk si jàmm dëkk bi dina dem si ñoo xam ne noonu lañ ko soxlee waaye tamit suñu bàyyee yëpp noonu nit ñi amul interest si dara am na ñoo xam ne dangaa ne sa politique yi la ñu taluñ politique te yow Gambien nga Gambien yow talking about politics yow taloo politique da yow la nga tal lu ma dee wax mooy su fekkee ne yow you said you doon talloo politique am na politicien lu moo def dafa affect sa life in one way or the other by force
absolutely
loolu sax wala soo su dee toogal sa kër nga ne doo politique nga doo politicien waaye tey suñu yokkee saafumaal oo ñu yokk a paas yi oo ñu yokk a sondel oo ñu yokk a wata bi affect naa la affectul affect na la te mënoon nga si taxaw sa carte mënoon naa def change so foog naa there are a lot of things that I think Gambian should definitely try to look at comme ça nekkul na dañoo lifin waaye dañ bëgg a ñëpp eewu ñëpp xam ne ñun ñoo am doole pour fal nguur ñoo am doole pour fooli nguur te da ngay se suñ ko doxalee si noonu comme ni ko lu waa waxee rek kenn du jóg suba nga ne waaw man dama fi jaay doole woote ba déedéet parce que suñu action yëpp dañ koo limite pour koo xam ne lu la ñu lu waa bi doon dafa ne am na solo trop waaw maa dafa ne am na solo trop
diga
ko xam nga life goes on
am na solo diga I mean Mr Johnson to be honest like jàng nañ ci lu bari man sama wife laa ne lot te xam naa ne ñoo seetaan bii dina bokk si programme yi nga xam ne comme gars yi ko enjoy bu baax a baax I wish we are able to see the comment section. I know there are a lot of comments ñu bari dinañ ko bëgg because we are learning a lot and I promise you that comme there are so many topics yoo laal yoo xam ne yooyu sax topic yi boppam la and we will definitely come up with that just to make sure that we educate the masses because I remember yesterday when I called you in order to make sure that I come up with this I come up with this topic so that we can discuss it. You were explaining that your priority is to make sure that the masses know what is going on and they know their fundamental rights as human beings li nga xam ne comme important na torop so duñ def dara because fu mu nekk nii time is no longer on our side ala duñu xamal ne suñu time bi jeex na waaye duñ def dara la ñu bàyyi kii di Mr Johnson mu conclude nga xam ne comme we will see daal what to do inshallah
jërëjëf Ousmane kontaan naa trop pour nekk fii te dañ ne kontaan trop pour wax askan wi because ñun Gambien leen te foog ngeen am nañ right bu nekk pour seeloo suñu idea yu ndaw yi ak Gambien si te foog naa wax naa ko si doorin bi ne soo jaagee sax bi egga si any level da nga am jàngkat yi foo xam ne foofu lañ ñuy philosophically am na ñoo xam ne dañ am seen schools of thought when it comes to one particular thing ma foog ne loolu mentionoon naa ko I am not perfect nag waaye definitely I think suma xalaat laa fi doon wax te su fekkee ne wax naa fi loo xam ne baax na maybe yàlla moo ma dimbale ma def loolu waaye tamit su fekkee ne wax naa fi loo xam ne tamit nekkul loo xam ne muy dëgga ñu xam ne man la rek parce que I am not perfect waaye su ma énee mooy ne pour wax fii loo xam ne askan bi leen si jaagee askan bi leen si njëriñ di wax ne rek ne waxtaan bi am na solo ñun lii lañ amal suñu nit ñi because tey doo nekk nit koo xam ne yàlla may na tuuti xam-xam nga toog si noppi si nga sa nit yaa ngi sonal mu foog ne suñu waxtaanee askan bi léegi du nekk léegi na nekk after ñun suñu fi nekkute waaye am na ñu bari ñoo xam ne dinañ njëriñu moo dinañ dégg looy wax te dinañ gën a find out xam ndax yow loo wax dëggal ndax du dëggal te su fekkee ne gis nañ ne loo wax dëggal dinañ ko jaax ba ñaari loxo duñ ko mos a bàyyi ñun ñu ngi waxee si wàllum loi mu nekk loo xam ne ay téere la loo xam ne dañ ko bind teg ko nga jàng ko wax ko nit ñi so maa ngi jégalu su fekkee ne wax naa fi loo xam ne demewul yoon di wax ne kontaan naa trop pour ñëw fii te tamit naa bëgg di ñëw because lii dafa am solo bu baax a baax absolument because askan bi foog ñu waxtaan ak gaay askan bi gën a xam gën a xam seen right waaye dañ fi aida kenn nag dem def loo xam ne àndut ak lu waaye moom loolu nekkul suñu yoon di leen jaajëfal di leen gërëm di leen sant di leen jox dox daje di leen wax ne asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatullah
thank you very much mbokk yi dégg ngeen ko lii lañ leen amaloon te si seen Jungle Morning Show bi gis ngeen kii di Mr Lyndon Johnson def na fi loo xam ne comme mooy loolu like I always say moom he always do justice whenever you invite him. His platforms that are always lively. So and this is it. This is what we need. I mean, being a legal practitioner does not mean that you don't have fun when you are educating people. Education sometimes goes with entertainment, and he does both, and then we are really appreciative. Lii la leen amaloon rek mbokk yi su dee comme ni mu ko waxee rek wax nañ fi anything loo xam ne comme I mean loo xam ne la baax na xam le ne si yàlla la jógee su dee wax nañ fi anything loo xam ne tamit naka su dul noonu la ngeen xam ne rek kenn perfectu te ñun ñëpp ay nit lañ rek juumte moom amin nekkul lu aay because nit moom sax yaa ngee dunda te yaa ngee try di nga def ay njuumte dina wax ne tamit soo leen bëggee bokk si programme bi rek follow leen ñu si all the social media platforms YouTube Twitter Facebook and Instagram man la woon seen xarit seen soppe Pa Ousman Fall di leen jox dig daje ba ëllëg si the same time the same frequency incha allah